On the question of whether the heart or the brain initiates romantic feelings, many experts have disagreed. Stephanie Ortigue, a professor at Syracuse University, said that although the heart is connected, the brain is ultimately responsible. In the Journal of Sexual Medicine, Ortigue stated that activation in specific regions of the brain can cause stimulation to the heart, butterflies in the stomach. Some of the feelings we occasionally experience as cardiac problems may occasionally originate in the brain. People who are in love may act in inappropriate and embarrassing ways. In reality, studies have found that sexual excitement inhibits the brain areas responsible for rational thought, self-awareness, and judgment. The prefrontal cortex of the brain, which is responsible for errors, poor choices, and regrettable times in a new relationship, is turned off by this. Love can be painful at times, and experiencing heartbreak is not simply a mental state but a physical one as well. It is also known as Shattered Heart Syndrome or Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. The main pumping chamber of the heart weakens as a result of extreme emotional or physical stress, such as the loss of a loved one or a serious accident, according to Harvard Women's Health Watch. Researchers are still trying to understand why it happens, but it almost exclusively affects women. Though it's uncommon, it is possible to pass away from a broken heart. You might believe that intense, passionate love is only possible during the honeymoon phase of a relationship. But a 2011 study found that even after decades of marriage, you can still feel deeply in love. Couples who had been married for an average of 21 years underwent MRI scans by a research team at Stony Brook University in New York. They compared the findings to scans performed on couples who had just started dating in an earlier experiment. Both the long-married couples and those who were just starting to fall in love displayed the same degree of dopamine-rich brain activity, according to the researchers. According to the study, the early tension is reduced while the spark in a relationship remains. The love hormone oxytocin, which has long been associated with feelings of well-being and social bonding, also has a negative side, according to a Northwestern University study. According to the unexpected 2013 study, oxytocin can also lead to emotional suffering. The hormone actually makes negative social memories stronger in the brain. Long after a bad event, these memories can come back. Oxytocin levels that are in the normal range might aid in a person feeling connected to their spouse. But if the hormone is increased, it can encourage negative behaviors like resentment and irritation. Although a study indicated that if you are in a committed relationship, your hearts may be racing in unison as your crush goes by. According to a University of California Davis study, couples in love may send each other biological signals. In fact, when two people are in a relationship, their hearts start to beat at the same speed. Feeling a strong connection with your partner is one approach to get through the coronavirus quarantine together, despite the fact that this may be difficult to assess on your own.